you?
Every single time.
Yeah, like it was just
Hey, Jace. Just walking around Sunday night, getting my steps in. This weekend was exhausting for me. Super fun though, but I am tired. Yeah, I think so. Hey, Tina. This is Tina. Hey, Brooklyn 718.
nice meeting you guys.
JCB Tina, that's a new one. It's usually Jason's first. Alright. We'll just do a little bit of walking, slight talking until we grow a little bit of an audience, I guess. Shinies as in Pokemon? Or on whatnot? Jewelry. Ooh, it's a little bit warm tonight. It's 67. It's actually quite gorgeous out tonight. Got a slow start tonight. Not as a big of a, I guess my schedule's flopping for a day. It means people weren't looking for me tonight. It's all good. Ah, that's what I thought. Shiny brooches. I mean, those old school, like 1930s rhinestone brooches are kind of awesome looking. Oh, sweet. All right. Well, keep shopping. I mean, I guess you could do two if you have two devices. Tina's heart is torn right now. Hanging out with Sean and buying stuff. Hey, Ronnie, I just woke up. I saw your message right before I was walking out. I'll send payment once the walk is done. I was just rushing out the door when I saw your message. Yeah, they are super fun. You only have your phone, okay. So are you not shopping? There's Jason. Hey, Jason. Jason, I totally would have hung out with you this morning if I wasn't sleeping. Oh, man, Tina, you're awesome. Yeah, no, Jason, so what happened was I pushed my sleep past 15 hours, I guess, of being awake on Saturday. I walked almost 19,000 steps on Saturday because I did two walks, the one in the evening, and then I was still awake. Oh, this sounds fun. We had the zine box. I wonder if this is what's in here. Nope, nothing's in there. Just curious. And, oh, that's good. That's good. He's gonna. Well, I guess, Tina, I'm saving you money tonight at least. Oh man, but yeah, I was up way too long. I went to bed at 4 on Saturday. Let's see, I went to bed at 4 Saturday. I woke up 8 the night before, I think. 8. So what is that? 12 hours? 4, 20. So I was up 20 hours straight. So about 5 hours too much. And what's super funny is I went to sleep. I think I'd be sleeping for like 12 hours because I was exhausted. And I only slept 6 hours. That's how my sleep goes. It's like my body wants to be up during the night and not during the day. So it was 6 hours, but I wasn't sleepy, but I was exhausted. So I just hung out on watching YouTube and stuff. I drew, I think, 4 or 5 art cards. And then in the morning, probably about 9 or 10 o'clock, I was like, I need to sleep again. So then I slept 10 hours. So between the 2 days, I got my 8 hours a night. But now I'm reset back to where I was. Yeah, honestly, this weekend was almost overwhelming by the amount of awesome things to do. We had the free comic book day thing going on, and the one comic I missed out was a Spider-Man comic people were paying like $30 for because of their first appearance. I'm like, oh man, I didn't get that one. And then Street Side Anthony was having his sale, and he would have picked me up. I could have hung out all day. He said he sold something like 10 long boxes at $2 a comic, and then he blew out the rest to another vendor who came and bought all the boxes he had left at something like $50 a box, something like that. So I'm like, oh man, I would have loved to buy a few boxes at a good price, but I wasn't, I didn't have time to do that. I was exhausted actually. And then what else was that? Oh, and Saturday there's also the comic art convention in the city. I was like, there's just too much going on yesterday. I don't know why, the comic art convention would be planned to be on Free Comic Book Day. That seems like a bad way to split your audience. Like, what's a major day of the year that's comic related? Okay, let's have our convention on that day. Like, that made no sense to me. But I had fun. Plus, Saturday, it's garage sale season starting. Obviously, I hit 4 or 5 on the weekend, which was pretty awesome. No, major scores, but a lot of pretty awesome stuff. Oh, I just felt a drop. I hope it's not going to rain. It's funny. Then the other night, the last time I streamed at night, oh yeah, now it's starting to rain on me. Crap. I didn't bring an umbrella. Okay, this is not going to be a fun night. I didn't think there's going to be rain. Can someone check the weather forecast to see if this is just a small squall, or is it going to be hours of rain ahead of me? Oh, this is going to suck. This is going to suck. Okay, now it's stopped. Just a few drops. Hopefully just a slight little squall. Nope, there's some more drops. More drops. Oh man. I forgot to check that. I just saw that it was like 67 degrees out. I'm like, oh, it's gorgeous. Ceramics do sale. Actually, I think I saw that sale. I'm still looking for sales. I got sales on the mind. It's fun. It's been a while before the, garage sale, sidewalk sale season had started. I hadn't seen any yet. So it's actually really fun to see a whole bunch on the weekend. All right, possible light rain. Okay, that's good. So just a few light drops. I think my phone is definitely water resistant or waterproof. I'm not sure about the stabilizer. If it starts coming down, I might just have to take the stabilizer, put it in my bag, and then walk with just the phone. We'll see. But yeah, so I don't even know what my sleep schedule is right now. My brain and my body is so weird like that. It just wants to do its own thing half the time. No, my voice, I can't sing. My toe is already healing pretty quick though. The blister, the liquid this is gross. I'm sorry, I apologize. But the liquid has drained out. So now it looks like it might start hitting the scab phase or whatever. So it actually looks like that was a quick heal actually. I'm surprised by how fast that was. I thought my foot was going to be messed up for weeks. But I have my good, comfy, big, thick socks on. So the big, thick socks are really good for walking. But yeah, no, right now I am achy though. Saturday was so much walking. 19,000 steps in a day, or what was that, 8 or 9 miles walking was a little bit too much. That's the funny thing. When it comes to junk hunting, the motivation just to keep going is there. I could be completely destroyed and exhausted, and someone's like, oh yeah, there's a guy selling Golden Age comics for $1 tomorrow at so-and-so location. Damn, I'm gonna find a way to go do that. That's how I work through the pain. It's so gross. It got pretty puffy there. It was like my toe grew another toe. I'm just mad at myself for wearing the just thin summer socks. I usually have my thick winter socks, which are like thermal, super cushy socks. And I realized those are much better for long walks than the thinner regular socks. And that's why I got a blister in the first place. So I gotta just walk with with the comfy socks. I'm not exactly sure where I want to walk today. I think we're just gonna be walking in circles. There's no specific area that I want to check out. I think we'll just go straight. I'm still I keep seeing sign like, what's this? Anything you say? Like my radar does like, oh, there's a sign over here. Oh yeah, what's this? My sign radar is really on high alert right now. I could literally walk over a space alien coming to abduct me if I saw a sign. No worries, Jason. Thank you for just coming in to say hello. I'm just doing my walk. I'm not really super chatty tonight because I'm just exhausted from the weekend. So I know I'm not interesting tonight. It's not that kind of night. This is just a casual walk. I'm just like, I almost didn't want to do it, but I'm like, no, I gotta get my walk in. And it's a lot easier for me to walk while I'm talking than to just walk. Because honestly, time just flies, especially when I come up with a topic that I want to talk about. Enjoy your movie. What movie are you watching? I wish I could figure out a way to dual stream. I could watch the movie while walking. That's interesting. There's like a big red billboard, the sign over there beyond the other side of the field. I don't know what that is. Oh no, that's maybe that's a food truck. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have a Red Bull. My lungs are kind of funky tonight. How is everyone doing tonight? Did you guys have any fun over this crazy weekend? Although I feel like today I barely experienced anything. I slept through most of the Sunday. Oh, now I'm getting a little bit of raindrops. I did all the Saturday videos too. I did so much live streaming Saturday. I think it was 7 hours total live streaming, which is crazy. Wow. I had my phone died at one point and the stream didn't cut out. It just kept going. So I think one person got kind of snotty. But I can't control technology sometimes. Technology is a pain in the butt. Yeah, you worked. Sundays usually, weekends usually when the store is busy. So I don't really work Saturday as much just because the store is too busy for me to work in the store. But I was live streaming, so I guess technically this is my work. But I love it, and it doesn't pay anything. So it's volunteer work. But I'm enjoying it. And I like seeing the channel grow a little bit, just a little bit every day. Just a couple people here and there. I kind of want to try to film some more colorful clouds because that one little short I did got like 1,700 views. I guess there's interesting, weird things in the sky. If only I could find a UFO every time I walked. The channel would be huge. Maybe I'll get a drone that follows me with a little UFO hanging from the bottom of it. All right, I am getting drizzled on, really, kind of hardcore right now. This is kind of this is not. I guess as long as it stays at kind of this level of drizzle, I think I'm okay. But man, it's garbage night over here. or street candy night. That's crazy. Okay, I'm just gonna walk. Yeah, it's weird. The algorithm decided that a weird cloud color formation in the sky was worth promoting. It just had 1 hour where all of a sudden it got 1,500 views out of nowhere. It's so weird. The algorithm really determines how well you do. It wants to just feed you stuff slowly. And then if it decides if you're not like the best video ever, that it doesn't promote it so much. I guess there's just way too much content on YouTube. Let's see, the Comedy Secret Show every Sunday they're filming. All right. Oh, we got the hot building down there. We're just seeing the neighborhood. I guess it was going to be fun to do some daytime streams, but my sleep schedule was not ready for that. I was like, nope, no daytime for you. Late night walks again. And it's a quiet Sunday night too. The neighborhood is just, everyone's getting ready for work. So the fun has died down. There's not giant crowds of people partying. You know, like the bar has 3 people in it, 4 people in it. I guess it's late. Everyone's sleeping for Monday's work. Well, that's good. Maybe with so many, I mean, because there's not a lot of people out using the cell service, maybe the connection is just really clear. That's what I'm assuming, that just because there's not a lot of people connecting to the towers, because my connection is very solid right now. I don't see any problems with it. Clear picture, slight drizzle, but not too many people chatting tonight, so. And my brain doesn't want to talk about anything. My brain's like, there's nothing to talk about. You're just tired. Just keep walking, fool. That's what my brain is saying. And we're just walking in the same area we always walk. So I guess it's not as interesting tonight. It's so slow tonight. I might just call it quits early and just watch some YouTube or something, because I don't know what to talk about. I don't really have a topic tonight. Normally I try to rely on the audience, but there's not a ton of people coming in to watch me walk tonight, so I just don't have a big long list of questions to answer. I'm just not talking. I don't really have any, I don't really have much to talk about. Unless you can't hear me. Can you not hear me? I could. What do you want to know about the store? Okay, let's say today was actually, this weekend was a pretty good weekend. Their sales were pretty decent. I sold pops. I had one regular viewer of my channel come in. It was really nice. I want to say Felicia. I'm not 100% sure. I was sleeping, but my Alice and my wife had a fun time talking with them. And then, and apparently her husband went to the same high school as my wife. He's just a bit older. So I thought that was kind of cool. And then I had one of my regulars come in and buy pops finally after like months of not seeing them. They just sell on Whatnot, so I guess they look for things to sell. And they spent a few $100, so that was good. I probably have to start sorting through my collection a bit and start getting more into the shop. Hey, King Elmo. I keep seeing signs that says King something in the neighborhood, so I think of you, King Elmo, every time I see it. It's like a graffiti. I know this whole week I've been just doing the live streams mostly. I don't know, I'm kind of bored repeating myself. I don't know what to talk about. That's all good. Well, as long as you guys are saying something, I'll keep saying something. If not, I just don't know. My brain is tired from just a crazy weekend. I'm exhausted. I did 19,000 steps Saturday, and then I slept 6 hours. Then I slept 12 hours. Hey, Mo. All right, a few people are coming in. This is good. It's a bit of a slow chat tonight, so I'm not being inspired to talk. Normally I get bombarded with too many questions, then I start talking. I don't know if the stabilizer, if I'm holding it wrong, because it keeps going down. Okay. Can Ronnie, can you hear me? I'm just typing. Ronnie, I'm just writing this in. Can you hear me? My stamina is definitely stronger. I feel like it's I definitely feel like I can just get more walking done. That's how I did 1,900 steps Saturday. Even I had a blister on my toe from the night before, and even then I could keep going. Yeah, that is really cool. It makes me want to buy from them every time I see it. Metropolitan. We're just doing the standard walk tonight. I'm just going to loop around the blocks. I keep on looking at signs too, but Sunday night's not the sign night. I should be looking Friday night. I mean, your purpose when you eat is you're hungry, but if you eat something healthier, your purpose is to improve your life and make you feel better. It might not be quite as enjoyable of experience. Hey, Will. Well, I was sleeping all day today. I don't know if you tried to contact me or not. We could probably try to do comics tomorrow sometime, possibly, if I get my sleep in right. Yeah, just a simple night. I figure a couple of these walks will just be kind of slow and simple. Hey, Mr. Brightside. Like, what are random stores? Like a junk store, comic shop, any shop. I don't know. I go to, if I'm awake and there's something I want to go to, I go to it. A lot of times I'm just so busy, I don't have enough time to go to all the places. Like, I wanted to go see Guardians of the Galaxy, but I don't know when I'm going to be able to do that. Yeah, so you just eat whatever you want to sustain your energy. All right, let's loop around this way. All right, I'm just waiting for the traffic to move so I can cross. Yeah, I'm still feeling it on my bones. Doing a lot on Saturday just kind of wrecked my body. That's fine, Will. You are just raking in the deals lately. That's awesome. I'm a little bit jealous, but I'm also too old to, I have all kinds of other things like walking around talking to you guys. I gotta do stuff like that. Mr. Brightside, it was a fun day. I think I did actually 4 videos. I did 1 video on this channel where I walked to the garage sales. That was the first hour and a half. Then I did the second video that was like 17 minutes walking to the comic shop. Then I crashed. Then I did a third video that's 45 minutes walking to the park for comics. And then my phone died, I think. It died, and then the stream kept going for like 2 hours. By the time I got home, I had at least one person leave a nasty comment because they were mad that I wasn't professional or whatever the fuck they were talking about. I hate people like that. People like that can rot in hell because they ruin my day and they make it so I don't want to do content. Sorry, I can't do perfection all the time. Hello, Melody. And then, the Cure box set is awesome. I have like 3 or 4 versions of Akira. I just keep buying them. I might even get that box set too. I have the original American colorized version. I have a couple of the Japanese volumes. I have the black and white American version. Hello, Glitter. All right, that's weird. The whole first half of the walk was really slow, but the algorithm seems to be promoting it now after 28 minutes. That's YouTube's frustrating because it cuts off the promotions if the previous video didn't go so well. That happened to my haul video on Saturdays. A lot of people didn't come in while I was showing the whole haul. I think I had like 10 people come in because the previous video had crashed. So the algorithm just thought the videos were sucking. YouTube really frustrates me. Thank you, Mo. I appreciate that. Just trying my best to do something fun. Thank you, Tina. I do appreciate it. The only problem was the stream was crashed, so like people would come in and it wasn't going live. So he left the comment probably when there was like no one in the room. Yeah, King Elmo, good luck. It's really a tough market right now. No, I try not to. It's still it doesn't matter how hard you try not to, you still get affected a little bit. And sometimes I've had billions of negative comments. I had one guy do a really kind of nasty video making fun of me years ago that got like 1 million views. So I literally had to block about 30 to 50 people a day leaving nasty comments. Oops, I don't know if I just cut out. Yeah, no, I had that one video with like 1 million views that someone made making fun of me. So it was literally sending thousands of people into my channel to leave nasty comments for me. And because of that, I had to block people all day. So it's really, really, it's difficult. I usually just block people. If you want to leave a nasty comment, that's fine. Then I block you so I don't have to deal with it. I don't care if you feel like you have the freedom of speech. Fine, do a video on another channel. But my audience, I'm just going to block it. There's really no reason for that. Exactly. I usually assume if someone's nasty or leaves nasty comments, something bad is happening in their lives and they need help. But they're asking for help in a terrible way by attacking people. Yeah, I'm selling my pop collection too, just because I do feel like the market is weak, and I don't know if they're going to continue. And it's also one of those things where I just like I kind of want to sell them now in case they do tank, and then maybe in a few, a year or two, maybe I could collect again. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Just because you don't like something doesn't mean a lot of other people don't love it. So let people be. It's not like I was doing anything. I was just buying and selling Funko Pops. But it was like I don't know what you would call that, incel group or something that started talking about my wife's boyfriend. Okay. I think I'm back. Do you guys hear me? I did hit a dead zone. Well, that's the thing. When I'm walking around, I hit certain dead zones, and I'll always be back. That's why I'm paying the extra $20 a month to let you guys know I'll be right back. This is actually quite dead compared to the rest of the week. But even Sunday, even when it's dead, there's still people walking around. Yeah, I pronounce things. I have dyslexia, I have hearing dyslexia, and I have auditory dyslexia. I have a lot of things, so a lot of names are really difficult for me. So people do that. They correct me often, and there's not much I can do about that. I could try, and sometimes I'm able to correct it after like many hours. But the thing is, would you rather me make new content or spend like a month perfecting a name that I barely hear? But yeah, that's normal criticism. That I don't mind. It's when they started insulting my wife and my son and that kind of stuff, or saying that they do nasty things to them. That's when I get a little bit upset, and I have to block that. It's one thing. Constructive criticism is an okay thing. Being utterly a terrible person is not. Okay. So I have celiac disease, where I basically have allergic reaction to gluten. So if I eat bread or anything with gluten in it, or wheat, basically, my whole system swells up. So it's like super mega constipation and pain. And it really hurts, and it's really uncomfortable. So I can't eat gluten, or at least I try to avoid it. I sometimes break down and eat it in small amounts. Like, I love pizza, so when I have to have pizza, like once a month, I break down and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have pizza. So we order a large pie, so we have a lot of slices, and I don't eat the crust. I just eat the sauce and the cheese. And I get kind of my pizza. I still get a little bit of an allergic reaction, because obviously there's gonna be some transfer of the crust into the cheese. But I at least get that craving over with, and then I remember why I can't eat it, and then I go back to my life. So I have that. I have dysphagia, where it's hard swallowing. So I'm trying to figure that out. I think it might be an allergic reaction to my daily vitamins. I'm not 100% sure, but sometimes it's really hard, and I end up having to spit it all up, as they say. I just got notification that I'll walk in. That's crazy. Algorithm not working tonight. It took 35 minutes. So I sometimes do have gluten-free pizza, but the problem with gluten-free pizza is the crust is made either out of rice or almond, and it's usually like a brick, so it doesn't go through the system very well. It's and it's like you're not eating pizza. You're eating more like a cracker with a pizza topping. I feel like it just doesn't taste this good. So with my dysphagia, cauliflower, broccoli, carrots, any solid vegetables like that get stuck in my throat, and I choke on it. Yeah, that's what Allison said. I need to probably try to switch over to vitamin gummies. That might be what's going on. Thank you, Retro Philosopher. Yeah, I have a really thick skin. I've been bullied my whole life. I've been made fun of because I'm just such a quirky, odd guy. Like, even the other day I was in the comic shop, and the comic shop owner, really nice guy, he bought me a coffee, but then we got into some kind of comic topic, so I was like talking like super rapid and super excited. He's like, whoa, the caffeine's kicking in, because I kept interrupting him. And I felt bad, just the way it's really hard for me to talk to people sometimes. Okay, I think we're back. Dead zone. So yeah, what was I saying? So I was saying is that I have, I definitely need to I'm gonna try the gummy vitamins because I have a feeling it's the non-gummy ones that might have something on the surface that kind of reacts. Yeah, so we're all in a similar situation. I mean, it kind of sucks that people that you're a little bit different from or a lot different from just think it's okay to make fun of other people. It's not cool at all. But yeah, I have a thick skin. It's only when people start leaving comments about my son or my wife or people I care about, that's when it bothers me. Because then I just like, my instincts kick in and I want to beat the crap out of someone who does that. I have to hold back. Allison tells me to hold back because sometimes I get like really upset. Because I don't want to get in trouble. But yeah, I'll defend my family with my life. That's just how I feel. Whereas I have a thick skin. I can take people being kind of nasty to me, which is fine. But yeah, it just bothers me because I just like when I'm streaming all the things I'm doing right now. I'm trying to do for the fun of it. So when someone poo-poos it a little bit because something messed up, it's like I didn't have control over the connection going. And it's not like I let the stream go on for 3 hours yesterday. Yeah, but that situation was someone created a joke video about, it was like an anti-Funko Pop video, but it's a guy who attacks people that are like pedophiles and stuff. So I just got summed in with all the other people. So his audience decided, oh, it's cool, let's go attack this guy. So I literally was getting like hundreds of comments a day, just like the nastiest, filthiest things. And so I had to start blocking words and people. It was not fun at all. Because it was probably some incels that didn't have any love in their life. I'm assuming that's the group it was from. So they probably had something, a hole in their life that they had to fulfill by attacking someone. That's just how some people are. Some people are having a rough, horrible time in their lives, and then they become terrible people. It's all good though. I have a beautiful wife. I absolutely love her, and I have a beautiful son, and like my family makes me so happy. So it's just I have a good core, and having a good core is good. Otherwise, it's easy to become a terrible person yourself if you don't have that good core. And then I have all you guys. That's why I started Pop Walks. Pop Walks is I'm not going to take shit. I'm just going to have fun. And if someone has a problem with me, they can go elsewhere. That's what this channel's for. This is for me to share my love with you guys and you guys to love me back. And we just have fun together. Yeah, I know the Funko Pop community is way worse. Like the comic community feels very supportive and loving. The pop community has a lot of people that hate each other for one reason or another, whether it's they don't like flippers, so I get labeled a flipper because I resell stuff, or they don't like people that complain about resellers, or they don't like certain types of pops, or just like there's always... Funko is supposed to be very inclusive with pops and things for everyone, but a lot of people still find the divides, and it kind of sucks. Exactly, people that something went wrong in their lives and they're missing. Thank you, Retro. Yeah, no, I get a lot of, in the pop world, I have people that like my videos, but every time I did anything other than pops, they would get really mad at me. I am an introvert too. I don't like interacting with people that much. It's not my natural behavior. That's why I enjoy this, because it's a way for me to actually express myself and talk with people without feeling discomfort. And I absolutely love you guys for that. You guys got me talking tonight. You got me going to the negative side of YouTube. But honestly, with anything you do, if you have any kind of success, you're gonna have nasty people to deal with, because people also just get jealous. They're like, oh, this guy gets access to all this stuff, no fair. But they don't look at the thousands of hours that you got to put in to do these things.
11 p.m. on a Sunday.
I've met probably half of you guys I met because of Funko Pops. So I've met a lot of wonderful people because of Funko Pops. But it's not the wonderful people I met, they collect Funko Pops, but it's not Funko Pops that made us connect. It's the pop culture. I gotta get past this. Music's gonna copyright this, so I might have to edit this out later. Okay, let's get past it. Yeah, no, so to me, It's not the Funko Pops that bring people together. It's the pop culture. It's not the Pops itself. Because the Pops itself, I've seen so many people get upset about bad drops, bad releases, flippers buying them out. And I've seen many people come into the hobby and then leave the hobby pretty quick because of that. So I don't really think it's the Funko Pops themselves that bring people together. It's Funko Pops are just a snapshot of some pop culture that we all absolutely love. So it's the pop culture. Pop culture is exactly what brings us all together. It's our shared culture. I always say we all have the same culture. Our culture in America and around the world is pop culture. We all hear a song we all love, or we all see a movie we absolutely love. We all think Star Wars and be like, wow, that's my childhood. And it's that kind of stuff. It's that stuff that brings us together. I know, I wish I could play so much more music while just walking around and stuff. But yeah, no, Funko, it's just, the reason why is because of the way the company sells them. And they make artificial scarcity. And they make it so that people have to fight each other to get the Pops. And because of that, you get a lot of heated anger in the Funko Pop. That's kind of why I'm not as excited for Funko Pops. Because I got kind of sick of the games and the fights and just trying to get all the new stuff I wanted. It was almost impossible to ever get anything kind of cool. Because, people with bots and flippers and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, pop culture, I've always been about pop culture. My store's called PopFuzz. It was PopFuzz many years before Funko Pops because I love pop culture. I love all of it. From music to movies to comics. Yeah, honestly, pop culture is my hobby. Funko Pop just fit it. I mean, look, I had my robot I made. My robot I had manufactured in 2006. So that's 4 years before Funko Pops. He has a big square head and 2 black pupils. It's almost like I made the first Funko Pop before Funko Pops were a thing. So when Pops came out, there's this toy line that reminded me of my toy based all around pop culture. Like, I totally fell in love with it. Well, comics have been around a lot longer too. So even if you don't like new comics, there's thousands of old comics that you can collect and enjoy too. Well, right now I'm collecting comic books hardcore, and I'm absolutely loving the comic book. I try to keep up with everyone. But yeah, no, I love collecting comic books, but I still love collecting my Ziggy, which no one cares about. I mean, I know you guys enjoy my Ziggy videos, but it's not like anyone collects Ziggy. So that's something I got to collect just for me, and I'm not even worrying about the drama. In fact, I barely compete with anyone. When I see a Ziggy thing I don't have and I just buy it. And most of the time, it's awesome. I don't have to pay a lot. Every once in a while, I have to pay something. But there's not a ton of active Ziggy collectors right now. So it's something where I can collect. I mean, I always loved Ziggy. And when I started collecting Ziggy, it was one thing I knew I could collect where I could get the rarest stuff that was affordable. Like, when I think of comic books, the most rare comic book, it's going to cost me millions of dollars. So I was never going to own that. Yeah, exactly. It's because I like it. And that's the most important thing. I don't need to like something because other people like it. With Ziggy, though, I have heaps of the rare Ziggy stuff. I have the stuff that if it was a comic book would cost me $1 million. It didn't cost me $1 million. It cost me $400. It's expensive, but not like end of the world expensive. All right, Mr. Brightside, take care. All right, this club is happening tonight. People are lined up waiting to get in.
I'm like, you're not a burning.
Yeah, let me know who. In the 1980s, Ziggy was popular, so a lot of people that grew up in the 80s had Ziggy stuff. They either had the plushies or the little PVC figures or a bit of stationery. Like almost everyone I meet that's in their 40s, I would say, 40s, early 50s, had some kind of Ziggy thing in their life. Oops. Oh, we're disconnecting. Okay, I think we're back. We're back. Yeah, so almost everyone I meet that's in their like 40s and 50s probably had some kind of Ziggy thing as a kid. Oh, too much coffee? Man, that's cool that you met the creator. That is awesome. I try to think, in my Ziggy collection, here's the coolest things I have. I have the original artwork from July 2nd, 1971. Now, the very, very first Ziggy was printed on June 27th, 1971. So the second is what? The fifth one ever published. Imagine having the original artwork for like Action Comics number 5. Or not even that, because remember, Ziggy was a daily cartoon. So it's more like having the original artwork for page 5 of Action Comics number 1. I mean, to me, that's amazing. How, like, I could never have, not only have an Action Comics number 1, but the 5th page from Action Comics number 1. That's the kind of thing I can buy in Ziggy. I have, oh, that is awesome. Glitter, that is awesome. I love it. I love that you had all that cool stuff. One of the coolest things I got in my Ziggy collection was in 2005, I believe. Tom Wilson Sr. was going into a nursing home. So they had a big estate sale at his house. And I missed out on it. I was like really bummed because it was in Ohio. And I just couldn't fly out to go to it. Let's see, I'm trying to keep up with everyone. Yeah, I love Sunday morning comics. I love comic strips in general because it's just a quick little funny thing you get to read. It was a ritual of mine as a kid. Every day I would get the paper so I could read the comic strips. I'd read Ziggy first, then the Peanuts, and then whatever else I felt like. So Tom Wilson, they had a estate sale. So they sold all this amazing stuff. I wasn't able to buy any of that stuff right off the bat. So I was bummed out about it. And they kept telling, like, I actually called up the lady running it. And she listed off like a list of all these amazing things. About 6 months later, I started seeing a bunch of it on eBay. I bought Tom Wilson's briefcase. So he had that, has his name on it, and it's like really worn. So he probably used that briefcase for many years. I bought all the fan mail from 1978 to 1983. So it was like 2 or 3 large boxes full of letters, pictures, and all kinds of stuff. I had to finish my drink. So that all that fan mail was fantastic. It was letters of people writing Ziggy ideas. There's at least 4 or 5 collection pictures. So think about little kids having a collection of Ziggy stuff in like 1979. So it'd be their bed with their like 20 or 30 Ziggy items on the bed. Amazing. Tons and tons of Ziggy greeting cards with like a note written in it. Like, oh, dear Tom Wilson, I'm a huge fan. Or dear Ziggy, I'm a huge fan. And they're just like literally hundreds and hundreds of letters. It was like one of the coolest things. So imagine buying the fan mail to DC right when Action Comics came out, number 1. There's no, or well, let's see, 79, 83. So this is 8 years after Ziggy. So you're talking about more like Action Comics, maybe number 100. So all the fan mail from DC, Action Comics 100 to like 100 and, or, you know, 2 or 3 years worth. I can't buy that in the comic world. So that's the cool thing with Ziggy's. I can collect the rarest things and they're affordable. I think the fan mail cost me $80. I gotta laugh at that, bro. If I haven't watched it, I've lived, that's my lifeblood every Christmas. Shoot, Ziggy's Gift goes on. I have Ziggy's Gift. The one thing I regret with Ziggy's Gift was in Japan, there was a Japan seller for $1,000. They were selling the original film for Ziggy's Gift, like the actual film, the film canister film. I kind of wish I had bought that because honestly, that might have been a higher print quality than the current one that's on DVD. And I could have had that transferred in and had like a high definition version of Ziggy's Gift. Kind of wish I had bought that, but I didn't have $1,000 at the time. Kind of wish I bought that. I didn't have $1,000 at the time. Yeah, Ziggy's Gift. There's also a series of a dozen little mini Ziggy cartoons that came out and around the same time that are just like really short, like 1, 10, 15 second little cartoons. I kind of wish they would do more with Ziggy, but Ziggy's a has-been character right now. I don't think they've done greeting cards or anything. The thing with Ziggy too is I think there's more Ziggy merchandise out there than almost anything because Tom Wilson, the creator of Ziggy, was the president of American Greetings. So Tom Wilson actually helped create the Care Bears, Strawberry Shortcake, Holly Hobby, any of those American Greetings characters, like he helped create. But because of that, I mean, Ziggy, they would make thousands of cards and all kinds of greeting stuff with Ziggy on it. Yeah, Ziggy's Gift is a wonderful little holiday special. Obviously my favorite, my personal favorite. But I'm trying to think. Okay, so I was born in 1976. I was born June 1976, so I have the original artwork from December 24th, 1976. So Christmas Eve. It's beautiful. It's Ziggy's holding up Fuzz in the sky. It's like all black and there's some stars and it's a beautiful, beautiful hand-drawn piece. So it's the Christmas art, I guess, from the first year I was born. That's amazing. 80s are done with the comeback. It's now late 90s. Think of Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon, Power Rangers. That's right now what's really high in the lexicon of what's making a comeback. Master of the Universe, G.I. Joe, all that stuff is kind of dead now. Yeah, Ziggy used to be all over the greeting card stores like crazy. Yeah, Holly Hobby's cute. I do like Holly Hobby. But Holly Hobby was helped created by Tom Wilson. Yeah, Robert Crumb was really good friends with Tom Wilson. So a lot of times Robert Crumb would crash on Tom Wilson's couch. I have a whole book about the history of cartoons, I guess. And there's a whole chapter on that, which is really fun to read. So yeah, Robert Crumb, there's a lot of really cool American greetings, little cards that Robert Crumb drew. I kind of want to collect a lot more of those. I think I have one or two buried somewhere. Love Robert Crumb too. But yeah, I think the 80s, the problem is the 80s is everyone that grew up in the 80s or was a teenager in the 80s is now 45, 50, 55, 60. So we're heading into grandparent territory. So now it's the 90s into the early 2000s. In about 5 years, the early 2000s will be making a huge comeback. I always say there's about 20 years between when something's popular than when it comes back again. So it's been, 2003 is 20 years. Holy crap. I didn't think about it. So anything that's 20 years or older is considered a vintage. So your Britney Spears, Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, 2001 stuff, it's vintage now. It's not modern, it's vintage, it's old. It's gonna be antique soon. Oh my gosh, Miss Piggy bed sheets, that's awesome. All right, Mo, I'll see you soon. All right, I'm gonna loop around here. Normally I go walk down there, but I think the connection cuts out that way. Master of the Universe and G.I. Joe, they're still marketing because the 45-year-olds will get their kids into it a little bit, but really, kids don't like G.I. Joe anymore. G.I. Joe, Transformers, maybe, because Transformers has been kept relative. A lot of stuff just dies out. I mean, think about it. Transformers is still alive pretty much because of the movies. G.I. Joe movies kind of bombed those. So G.I. Joe's not really that popular. Master of the Universe, I liked the cartoon, but it wasn't popular with the kids. So, yeah, no, that's 20 years is vintage. I didn't think about that, but 2003 is vintage now. That is crazy to me. I can't believe that. Oh, all right, music. I gotta walk by the music. It's still early enough that people are having a fun Sunday night, but Sunday night dies out earlier. It's going to end at midnight and not so much late into the night. Wow, 2003. Trying to think of what else is 2003. It blows my mind that 2003 is vintage now. So the original SpongeBob SquarePants is vintage. Oh man, I can't even think. Oh yeah, back in the day, having your VCR, if you could record one amazing thing, that thing would get watched over and over and over. I can't tell you how many times I watched Demolition Man on, because that's like one of the few movies I owned on VHS. I watched that movie over and I love that movie though. Yeah, no, it's only 20 years. And the reason why it's 20 years is because it's good enough that after 20 years, the people that grew up with it are now having children. So it's like a one generation. So think about it. I always say between ages 7 and 12 is the key nostalgic era from your childhood. That's like where your favorite things are. Yeah, the Osborne Shore is now vintage. Or like Austin Powers is vintage. So 7 to 12 are the key ages where you get those really strong childhood nostalgia. Like that's where it imprints in people's minds for general. You add 20 years to that and now they're, 27 to 33, and that's like you're done with school, you have a job, and now you're spending money, you're having your first generation of kids being born. So vintage is, that's why 20 years kind of works for vintage. But the official definition of vintage is 20 years. Yeah, Ozzy was vintage at the time, exactly. When that shows how Ozzy was vintage. So I think 1984, no, not 84, 85, 86, when I started getting into comic books. I think 20 years before that was 62, 64. So the original, when Marvel first started, was vintage at the time. So for me, when I think of like Spider-Man and those original comic books, to me, those felt like ancient comics by the time I started collecting comic books. So for a 10-year-old, 20 years before that feels ancient. No, it doesn't. You know why? Because we all have the connections. We have the stuff we grew up with. Like anything that came out in 88, 89 toy-wise, to me feels like brand new toys. Because I didn't play with them and that stuff, I thought, oh, that kids played with that. So when I say a 1989 G.I. Joe, I think that's like a little kid's toy. It's so weird to me. But I think that happens with a lot of people. Anything that came out when you were like 13, 14 years old just didn't feel the same as the stuff that came out when you were 10 years old. There's one Facebook group that's Vintage Toys. It's 94 and earlier. And when the group started, 94 is like right at the edge of vintage. But it's been 10 years. So that's like 2004. So they don't add years as vintage. So it's becoming older and older, but what's actually vintage is no longer following, there's like 10 years now that they don't allow in the group. Vintage is just a term for anything over 20 years old. So in 10 years, the original Funko Pops will be vintage. Now the question is, will they be collectible or valuable? Which I think they will be. Definitely anything that is rare or anything that connects to kids' events. So in like 20 years, some of the Pops now that everyone's excited for, the Dragon Ball Z stuff, the stuff that appeals to the 25 to 30-year-old, probably not going to be worth much. Not like it is now. But the stuff that the kids love, you're talking about Five Nights at Freddy Funko Pops? Five Nights at Freddy Funko Pops will probably be worth a small fortune in 20 years. Anything we grew up with is always going to feel like the coolest, right? So if you're born in the late 60s, early 70s, and the 70s would have felt like an amazing decade of stuff. For me, the 80s are my wheelhouse. That's Garbage Pail Kids, Transformers, G.I. Joe, Gem, She-Ra, He-Man. All that stuff is stuff I loved as a kid. Smurfs. I don't know. There's a whole bunch from that era. 90s doesn't hit me as much because in the 90s, I was into Michael Jordan and music. I was at the mosh pits listening to Red Hot Chili Peppers and Primus and watching Michael Jordan play basketball or watch the New York Knicks play basketball. So to me, I have a different kind of nostalgia, but not that strong like childhood nostalgia. Exactly. That's what happens. A lot of times collectors, either they go back and they buy the stuff they had as a kid that they wanted to have again that got either destroyed or damaged or they sold off or they gave away. And sometimes they'll go over the thing they didn't get. So there was that one Christmas where you didn't get a play set. Yeah, 80s and 90s created so many awesome characters. People I absolutely love, or creations I absolutely love. Yeah, so 60s, like anything before like 1977 feels about the same vintage to me. So whether it's early 70s or 1950s, it all felt old to me. Yeah, I loved Primus back in the 90s. I've seen Primus or Les Claypool by himself in concert maybe 6 times, 7 times. That is super cool. So if you're born in 72, so about 1980 to 1986 would be your key childhood toy stuff. So 1980, so you probably Barbie, Strawberry Shortcake, those Little Mermaid, they're Little Mermaids that came out. Maybe that was a little bit, no, you're too old for the Little Mermaid. I'm trying to think of what was more for older kids in the early 80s. But yeah, you could usually, let's see, by the time Garbage Pails came out, you're probably just a little too old. So Garbage Pail Kids probably felt like a little kid's thing for you, I'm guessing. Yeah, I have a ton of Fisher-Price. I have stuff for little babies. But I was a little baby when it came out. Absolutely loved that stuff. I have Weebles too. I have the Weeble submarine. It's like a white submarine with orange highlights. I paid $75 for that thing because I had it when I was a 2-year-old. So yeah, I collect that Fisher-Price stuff too. But I don't have as strong as a connection to the Fisher-Price stuff as I have with the stuff I had when I was like 8, 10 years old. Yeah, no, anything after 2004 is preserved. Higher print runs. So it's going to be rare for any of those to have value. They're either going to have to be super limited printed or something that kids love. They got like Monster High Funko Pops. All the Monster High Funko Pops I see are damaged because little girls bought them. So that, or for the most part, I'm not trying to gender them, but for the most part, little girls bought them. I bought them too. I'm a 45-year-old guy who bought them, but I love them. But most of them got destroyed. So Monster High Funko Pops are going to be worth something. Five Nights at Freddy's, most of the ones I get are kind of beat up. Five Nights at Freddy's Funko Pops are going to be worth something. All the stuff that the kids like now or 10 years ago. Okay, so you probably had friends that were into them, so you probably had like a side connection to them, but they weren't your childhood. Yeah, I'm trying to think, because my sister liked them. My sister was born in 80, so she's maybe that was skewed a little bit younger than that. Sweet Pickles. No, I don't know if I know Sweet Pickles. If I saw them, I might recognize them. Oh yeah, Cabbage Patch Kids. Yeah, perfect. Cabbage Patch Kids came out in 82. So you would have been a 10-year-old, perfect age for that. My wife, born in 76, she loved Cabbage Patch Kids. So Cabbage Patch Kids would have been right in that age of they became little people in your house. The Cabbage Patch Kids hung out. They played games with you. They played games with friends. Yeah, Cabbage Patch Kids are perfect for that age. I had my Ziggies. My Ziggies I got in 82, so I was 6 years old when I got my first Ziggy, and he never really left my heart. So Ziggy really fits right in my key window. Yo, Marlana, what year were you born? Because Garbage Pail Kids were really only out 85 to 87. So there's like a 1.5 year window in there. So anyone who really got into them as a kid, probably, let's see, 10-year-olds would have been born 75, 76. So 73 to about 1980 is the key window. Oh, I love the A-Team so much. I had all those toys. But A-Team, so Retro, you were probably around my age. Retro, you were born 77? No, you're not really old. So you were early 70s. So you were like a teenager when Garbage Pail. So you probably liked them, but you didn't like obsess over them the same way that little kids did. That would have been right, like you had to kind of secretly like them. Because your other friends might have thought you were a little bit weird, kind of. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, 75. So you're right. I was born 1 year later. So we both have a very similar age group. Like you skew probably a year younger. So like when the little G.I. Joes came out, those were probably like amazing toys for you. And then like G.I. Joe into Transformers, into Mask. And then like right at Mask is a year before my cutoff, but right towards the end of your cutoff, probably. Yeah, so if you got them in 85, yeah, 12. So 12, you're actually right on the edge then. 12 or maybe almost turned 13. So you've been right on the edge of the perfect age for that. No, we're all a kid at heart. That's what I love about pop culture is we all connect in it one way. And I love when it jumps generations. So for instance, I loved Snoopy as a kid when I was really little because my mom grew up with Snoopy. So Snoopy was her generation, but then she made it multi-generational. I love that. I love when there's multi-generation. It's so funny too with Garbage Pail Kids. I'll have no, I think there's a couple a little bit older than you, but we're all within. I mean, I was born June of '76, so there's a 5-year difference. That's like I'm your little brother, basically. Little brother. We're all within. I think honestly, we're all probably within 5 to 10 years age. We're all in the same generation, basically. My brother was born April '71. So all the stuff my brother was into, like, so I have the hand-me-downs from that stuff. But you know what? We all love pop culture and toys and all that stuff. So we're all young at heart. Honestly, the more people I meet my age or older, like my friend Sean was born in '69, I believe. Like I have a lot of friends that were born late '60s. I feel like everyone that loves pop culture and toys and stuff looks and acts way younger than people that like sports and just smoked a lot and just like really lost interest in life. I did enjoy Garfield, Flat Trot Flats. I didn't really read that much. I saw them, but I didn't really read them as much. Yeah, see, so for me, yeah, 88 is right when music started becoming important for me too. Sports, music, and video games. Not quite girls yet. A couple more years after that. So yeah, you are like a year, so retro, you're 1 year ahead of me. So yeah, when you see toys from 1987, you think, oh, that's for little kids. 87 toys, like I didn't play with that. That's little kid stuff. That's so funny. So, oh, hey, Kathy. Awesome. Yeah, I wasn't quite sure and the stream started really slow too. I think we only had like 9 people for the first 30 minutes. The algorithm wasn't promoting it. And then at like 30 minutes, I got a message on my other channel. It actually just popped up. It's so weird how the algorithm, well, I was almost going to call it quits because I didn't have anything to talk about. But then you guys started asking me some fun questions, which is awesome. I love when there's people asking me questions stuff. It gives me something to talk about. Trying to think. My sister was born in '80, so I liked all her stuff too. Because we played together, you know, I'd pull out my Godzilla, my G.I. Joes, my Ziggies, my Transformers, and she would pull out her My Little Ponies and her Barbies and her plushie stuff. And we'd make big epic adventures together. So I have a fondness for all those 80s girls' toys too. My sister had all the gem dolls. I thought those were super fun. I love the cartoon. Yeah, stickers. That's my wife talks about stickers often. Putting them into sticker albums and collecting them and getting a few each week from the 5 and dime shop. So stickers, yeah, that's why we have everything I have in my store kind of connects to what we love. That's why we have a wall of stickers, because Allison appreciates stickers so much. We still kind of love stickers, and they sell really well actually. We probably sell maybe $500 to $1,000 worth every like couple months when I have to restock. I have to restock right now. We're almost sold out. Oh, Ronnie, that's hard because there's mass-produced stuff, and then there's like really low-end junky stuff. So I don't know if I could narrow it down to like what I think is the worst. Coloring books were awesome back as a kid too, because for a couple markers and a few hours, there'd be plenty. 96. Okay, Josh, let me see if I can guess your favorite stuff. So 96. So let's go to 2004. 2004. Oh, were you into Beyblades? Or not Beyblades, Bakugan? Pokemon was kind of on the tail end. So Pokemon probably wasn't popular yet. 2004. Geez, I don't know 2004 toys as much. You probably enjoyed SpongeBob on the television. Oh yeah, Lisa Frank stickers were fun. Yeah, any 80s stickers, those big puffy stickers, I still get. In my collection, I literally have probably 40 or 50 different sheets of stickers that have Ziggy on them from multiple countries as well. Anytime I get a nice Ziggy sticker sheet, I think it's the most amazing thing. Puffy stickers, scratch and sniff stickers, all that kind of stuff. Oh yeah, Voltron was awesome too. Voltron's another one of my favorites from the 80s. You know what's kind of crazy to me? People growing up in, at least in the New York City area, from the 60s to the like mid 90s had the same childhood almost. They would watch, Saturday morning cartoons. They would, say Saturday afternoon, they would have like a monster flick or kung fu movies on Channel 11. So it was very similar up until the 90s. And then when the internet came, it just like the way kids grew up changed. So I'll talk to someone who's born in the 60s and we'll have the same kind of childhood. But you talk to someone that's younger and it's like completely different. Yeah, my wife absolutely loves the strawberry shortcake smell. So anytime she gets one, she like freaks out. She absolutely loves it. We have probably 5 or 6 strawberry shortcake dolls in their boxes. Maybe not 5. Maybe 5 or 6. I think we have a handful that we collected. So she collected a little bit of her childhood maybe 20 years ago, but then she stopped and I just kept going. Yeah, after school specials. That's like a 70s and 80s thing. I don't think they had after school specials in the 90s, or not really. My hip sockets are starting to feel funny from all the walking. I don't know if that means I'm getting old and they're going out or whatnot, but that's the one part of my body that seems to be going as I walk so much. Yeah, this is great. I almost quit when we were at 9 for the first half an hour. It's so weird how the algorithm doesn't really promote a video. I think it's because the previous stream was weaker since I did it at a different time. The algorithm will do that depending on how well one stream does. The following stream will be better. If one stream's good, it'll promote it more. If one stream sucks, so like the day when it cut out halfway through, the next stream started out really slow as well. It's really agitating how the algorithm works. But that's also one reason why I kind of talk about it a lot, because that's like, I like seeing success and I like seeing the channel grow and stuff. It's really fun to me. Whew. I'm right in the middle. I'm not too old, I'm not too young. I'm right in the middle of all folks. That's why they call it middle age. Although maybe I'm a little bit past middle, because that would mean I'm going to 94 if I'm halfway. But who knows, in 30 years we might be able to get all kinds of bionic parts. AI is going to design some way for us to get our bionic legs and stuff. Then we can do our nightly, it won't be walking talks, it'll be sprinting talks, because I can walk real fast. Let's see, I'm at an hour and 15 minutes. So hour 45 minutes is usually 10,000. So I'm probably at about 7,000. So I'm probably, I got about 30 more minutes with you guys, I think. Which is good. This is fun that we're actually having a conversation today. I was afraid we weren't going to have a conversation. Okay. So I was right in the Beyblades, yeah. I thought so. I like trying to figure out what, one of my favorite hobbies is to guess what people's favorite things were, or at least things they had friends that liked, but based on their age. Or I have people tell me what they loved, and I can usually predict within a year or two what year they were born. That's how much I love pop culture. But I'm also in the business of pop culture. Because people come into the shop, they're like 25 years old, and they see something they loved as a kid, and they're like, oh, I feel so old. Because it's been a while. But I'll have the same reaction from an 80-year-old and like a 15-year-old. I'm like, no, in my shop, everyone is 12 years old. Doesn't matter how old you are now. When you go into the shop, you time travel back to when you were 12. Yeah, bionic dancing legs. You just upload all your favorite dances. It is fun. That's the thing with pop culture and retro stuff. It's every single thing. When you think about it, it'll send you back in time and you have all these memories connected with it. So it's like, it's not just a toy. It's a whole life around the toy that happened. We literally, some of our favorite stuff as a kid, we might have spent more hours with that toy than anything we do today, right? You have a favorite action playset. You might literally spend a full day with the action playset 30 times, 40 times. So 5 hours a day times, so 150 hours playing with that toy as a kid. What do you play with today, 150 hours? Nothing. You watch a movie for 2 hours, then you're done. Ooh, okay, so sci-fi movies are my favorite genre. So we can go through my whole history. So in the mid-'80s, I used to have a library right behind my house. There's like a parking lot behind my house, so I could hop the fence, walk through the parking lot over to the library. It was really quick. And I'd borrow movies. And my favorite thing to pull out was sci-fi VHS tapes. So let's see. The Incredible Shrinking Man, one of my all-time favorite classic sci-fi movies. Beautifully shot. It was really fun. Like the set design to make him look so small was amazing. Absolutely loved The Incredible Shrinking Man. X, the Man with X-ray Eyes. Love that movie. Such an awesome topic. It's the scientist that creates like an eye drop formula or something where he puts in his eyes, he can see X-ray vision. So when he first does it, he's like really sad. You know, he can see like all the girls in their underwear, and he can see like all these fun things. And then he's a doctor, so then he can start operating on people, and he can like see the cancers and stuff. And he so it's really sad at first, but he keeps using the drops, and like he keeps getting stronger and stronger to the point where he has to do it, and it just gets like too strong. Like for a while there, he uses it to go to casinos, and he can figure out when a machine's going to win. So like it's really fun at first, but then by the end of the movie, all he sees is like skeletons and like girders, and like he goes crazy. Yeah, I love X-Men and actually Logan's Run is probably my all-time favorite movie. I've seen Logan's Run so many times. It gets a little bit weak in the end, but I love it's in the genre I love, which is survival tales. I love survival movies. So Logan's Run is one of my all-time favorite sci-fi survival tales. I absolutely love the Logan's Run TV series as well. I remember it was on Sci-Fi like 85, 86, and they were playing one episode a night for that week, and that was like one of the greatest weeks of my life. I just remember getting so excited. I had the setup. I would just like get some toys ready to play, and I watched Logan's Run each night. I think that week was amazing. I have to still get the whole set. I haven't seen it since the 80s, the television series. The movie I watch every about 5 years. Melody, no, I think kids do play a lot more video games, so it's a lot easier. But like the way they play video games is the same exact way we play with toys. And by that, I think of my son. Now my son, he lost his love. Oh, wait, I got past the music. Hey, Darren. Good morning. So my son lost his love of Star Wars like 2 or 3 months ago when Mando started. I was like, yeah, Mando. He's like, I'm sick of Star Wars. But then Star Wars came back to Fortnite, and he got really excited for that. He bought all the ones. So he just watched the prequel movies, which are his favorites. And then he was playing with all his Lego Star Wars stuff this week. And he's 11 now, so he's getting towards the end of the play age. But it was so fun to see him enjoying the toys. But what I mean is, my son, he plays Fortnite, right? He loves Fortnite. But I'll catch him spending hours upon hours in the Fortnite creative mode, where he's like creating things in it. So I think even in video games like Minecraft, kids still have that same playful nature where they're creating their own things within the game when they can. It's not just the play. I think kids still like the idea of creative. But yeah, I don't think kids play with toys as much anymore, but I know they still do. Oh, Night of the Comets was also one of my all-time favorites. Another awesome, fantastic survival movie. I watched that thing a ton. when it was on HBO in the 80s. We just not recently, but maybe like 7 years ago, we rewatched it. I still absolutely love it. It's just another fun survival tale. I love that genre. Survival tales, that's what makes like Voyager my favorite Star Trek, because that's a survival tale. That's why I love a show like The Walking Dead. That's a survival tale. I like zombie movies in general. Oh yeah, Night of the Comet, definitely one of my top 10 favorites from the 80s. I mean, of course, you know, Back to the Future, which is also a survival tale, especially the second one. Ghostbusters, Indiana Jones, all that stuff. But those are the mainstream. I'm thinking more of like the little oddball movies I absolutely love. I love, it's like Robinson Crusoe on Mars, but I don't know if that's the name, but it's about a guy who gets stranded on Mars, where he figures out he can create oxygen from the rocks. It was like such a funny, bizarre movie, because it's before they were actually on the moon. So they had an idea, maybe you could get oxygen out of rocks. But that movie I absolutely love. Let's see, did I miss anyone's comments? No, I think I'm caught up. Trying to think. What other sci-fi movie? Because I know sci-fi is my favorite genre. Oh, I love The Explorers. That was a childhood favorite. Another survival tale, absolutely fantastic movie. When Stranger Things came out, I was just like, look, it's Explorers. I think everyone's saying Stranger Things is Goonies or other things, but for me it was The Explorers. Night of the Living Dead's another great one. The Dawn of the Dead, where they're in the mall, is awesome. And the remake was really nice. Soylent Green, I did see, but Soylent Green, I don't know if I liked that one as much. Like, it wasn't one of my all-time favorites. But yeah, I mean, if in the 80s, I tried to watch all the sci-fi movies I could. I liked Flight of the Navigator. We just rewatched that maybe 3 years ago, and I still enjoyed it. Another kind of survival tale. I liked, Daryl with the robot kid. That was fun. I liked that movie. I liked Short Circuit. I actually really, really liked robot movies or robot-related things. Forbidden Planet, all-time great. Absolutely love. Yeah, tech has definitely taken over kids, but I think some kids, like I know my son still gets that creative urge to play. Umbrella Academy was a fun show. I really enjoyed it. So Total Recall. So towards the late 80s when I got older, I did love the Paul Verhoeven stuff. RoboCop. Absolutely loved RoboCop. I loved, Aliens, Alien. Absolutely loved both those. Also survival tales. Total Recall is definitely one of my top 10 all-time favorites. Still to this day, not favorites from the 80s, but overall top 10. Absolutely love Arnold. If I was like Desert Island, if I was just stuck with a box set of Arnold movies, I think I'd be happy. Runaway. I'm not sure if I saw Runaway. Tell me the premise of Runaway. I'm drawing a blank on that. War Games. Oh yeah, War Games is fantastic. AI movie. Oh, Iron Giant. Iron Giant is definitely one of my all-time favorite movies. I have a Iron Giant vinyl wall poster. Like one of those giant, like 3 foot by 6 foot movie posters hanging up in my living room. It's been there since 1999. I can't take it down because I love it so much. Fantastic Planet is one of my all-time favorite cartoons. Fantastic Planet is so good. It's so weird and bizarre, but I absolutely love it. Blade Runner. So I've seen Blade Runner 4 or 5 times in my life. I enjoy Blade Runner, but I don't know if it becomes one of my favorites because I don't know. Just the pacing about it or something about Blade Runner just feels very off to me. Oh, I don't know if I've seen The Runaway. I'll have to add it to my list of things to check it out. I'm sure there's a few movies I've missed over the years that I should watch. Spaceballs is funny. That movie still cracks me up. I saw Spaceballs in the movie theater. All right, I'll definitely have to check out that movie. Not that I'm a huge Gene Simmons fan or anything, but I like goofy sci-fi stuff. And I like robots. 2001, I watched that a ton. I always loved 2001, even though that's also a movie that kind of has weird pacing. But the visuals in 2000, like anything Stanley Kubrick is just the most gorgeous movie you've ever seen. Just the way it's edited and cut it and the cinematography. Moon was fantastic. I love Moon's an awesome modern day sci-fi movie. Really, really good movie with a little bit of a twist. Absolutely loved Moon. I guess, all right, with modern sci-fi, because I'm thinking my childhood favorite sci-fi. Modern sci-fi, what have I enjoyed? Like, I watch all the weird Korean ones when I can. I kind of like them sometimes. Like, the Wandering Planet was really weird, but kind of interesting. The one with the AI that's based on the one person's mother was kind of interesting. Don't know if I loved it, but I know there's, the street candy machine is really loud. Can't hear myself thinking. I love the Cyberpunk cartoon, the anime. That was something I watched recently. I absolutely love Cyberpunk. It was so good. Night of the Creeps I enjoyed back in the day. Yeah, I'm picturing Robin Williams now. I remember that movie. I don't remember like super enjoying it. It was something like The Toy, but it's not The Toy because that's a Richard Pryor movie. I can't remember. Okay, so V, the original V, that was one of my favorite shows on television. Top 5 for sure, back in the day. The remake was absolutely garbage. Hulk smash. Thank you, Tina. Yeah, V, I love V. That first one, there's the first movie, there's the second, or the first miniseries, the second series, and then the longer series. All of them are fantastic. And then, okay, that just... Oh, They Live. I love the John Carpenter stuff. They Live. I absolutely love that movie, too. They Live is such a fun movie. John Carpenter. What else did he do? I mean, there's the Escape from New York, Escape from L.A., the Halloween movies. I'm trying to think. John Carpenter, he did the one Mars Planet one that was in the 90s. That was pretty good. Not the best. I feel like there's another John... Them? What's the one that's the... South Pole or North Pole alien movie? Bicentennial Man, that's it. Bicentennial Man, you got it. That's the Robin Williams movie. I don't think I saw Deadly Friend. I'll have to watch that. Oh, Christine is great. We just rewatched that like a week ago. It was just randomly on TV. I didn't watch the whole thing. I just watched the end. The ending is just crazy. But yeah, John Carpenter movies, when growing up, they were my favorite. It's like the weird soundtracks. The Thing, that's it. Yeah, The Thing. Thing is another awesome movie. Another survival tale. I love those survivals. Did he do Dark Star? Dark Star's one of the really early movies. That one I didn't really enjoy as much. Trying to think what other side. Like recently, I know I've seen some things I absolutely loved. I just can't remember. Because I watch all the mainstream things: Umbrella Academy, The Boys, sort of sci-fi, sort of superhero. But I kind of like the hard sci-fi where it feels like it could be real and not just like way over the top magic. 80s soundtracks are super fun. I don't really collect them, but I love when I get them in the store because it's really cool just to put out like an Aliens record or a Back to the Future record. I mean, every time I do that, I think it's super dope. Hellboy. The newest Hellboy they made with Hopper. I forget the actor's name. I couldn't watch the whole thing. It didn't connect with me. The original two Hellboys with the Guillermo del Toro movies, I love those two. Those were like amazing. But then the newest one I had a hard time watching. I had to stop watching it. trying to think. There's got to be some other. I mean, I love sci-fi. It's like that's all I want to watch. But half the time I'm hunting for a new sci-fi movie because some of them are god awful. Mother was kind of fun on Netflix. That was a robot one. I really like that. Yeah, First Hellboy is a fantastic movie. Anything Guillermo del Toro does is like beautiful. Everything from The Devil's Backbone, the recent Pinocchio animation was amazing. The Pan's Labyrinth was amazing. The first two Blade movies were amazing. Yeah, the new one I couldn't get through. I watched it for about 20 minutes and I had to turn it off. Yeah, the Pinocchio was a gorgeous movie. The animation, it made me cry. If a movie makes me crocodile tear, I appreciate that movie because it's like you really connect with it. If you can get a movie that makes you tear up and cry, that's a movie you know it's a good movie. Oh, you know what? I love the was it The Time Traveler's Wife? The movie was okay. I liked the movie, but the series was fantastic. Absolutely love The Time Traveler's Wife's TV series. That was a fantastic show. The Keep. I don't know if I've seen The Keep. Explain it to me. I might remember, or I might have saw it a long time ago, but I don't remember that one. I'm trying to think. I love time travel movies and stories in general. Sometimes they're god awful, but sometimes they are perfect. And The Time Traveler's Wife was a really good one. The About Time is my all-time favorite. That's a movie I recommend all the time because I absolutely love it. It's a beautiful love story that just happens to have time travel in it. But it has a lot of good aspects about time travel. First Stargate, I did really love that movie, even though that one is sort of considered schlocky. I actually really love the Stargate movie, but I even more love the TV series, all 12 seasons, plus Stargate Atlantis, plus Stargate Universe, which I wish they would bring back because I feel like it was on like sort of a cliffhanger. They need to do modern Stargate. I'm waiting for that. That's high up on my want list. Knight Rider, I enjoyed. We actually watched like 5 episodes of it last summer because the cool kid absolutely loved the theme song. So we would start putting it on just to hear the theme song, but then we would watch the episodes. And I still enjoyed it. I still got, Michael Knight, like, chills watching it. It's goofy, but I loved it. Thundercats is amazing. I rewatched that about 10 years ago, and the original series is still really good. Like, I rewatched He-Man. He-Man kind of sucked, but Thundercats is good. Original A-Team was one of my favorites as a kid. I remember just absolutely loving watching them, like, make some kind of weird contraption out of junk in a garage. Original Quantum Leap I loved. We are actually watching the new Quantum Leap, which I'm really enjoying. And I love it. And what I love about the new Quantum Leap is the cool kid absolutely loves it. So, like, every time he's designed, it's like, oh, Quantum Leap's on, we gotta watch it. So I kind of love that because it just, remembering how much I loved the original Quantum Leap. Like, the newer one I don't quite like as much as the original, but I'm still loving it. Paulie. I don't think I saw Paulie, but that's the thing. If you watched it and if you get emotional and you tear up and you feel connected with the characters, I think that's a wonderful moment. Like the Knight Rider theme, like that theme is a theme. You guys just put that theme on occasionally just to hear it. Opening credits, then you're good to go. When I watched the G.I. Joe movie, the animated opening, first 3 minutes, I tear up. G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe, real American hero. Do. Like, every time I see that opening, I tear up because it just brings me back to my childhood. It's like a time machine for me. Absolutely. All right, let me catch up here. And then I got those. Okay, that sounds interesting. I might have to check out that movie. Snarf. All right, Doctor Who. As a kid, I don't know which Doctor that was. The 4th Doctor, the one with the brown jacket and the rainbow scarf. I really liked that one. That was when it was on TV, I would watch it, but it wasn't on TV that often. So I'd occasionally catch it when I was sick. So I love that Doctor Who, but the modern Doctor Who I never really got into. Always wanted to, but then I always felt intimidated by how much I haven't watched. But I think I can start with the modern restart, whatever they did in like 2009. I need to just go and start watching them. Because the little bit of modern Doctor Who I have watched, I absolutely loved. Yeah, Knight Rider theme, you just got to put it on occasionally. It gives me such a time machine chills. Yeah, the movie was okay. Time Trials, I didn't read Tom Baker, that's my Doctor Who. When I see him, that's where my memories come from. I didn't read the book. Because of my dyslexia, I don't really get to read as much as I would like to. But the series was amazing because they had, 10 episodes to flesh out the full storyline. So I felt like they told the story better. It wasn't like a quick, choppy 2-hour movie. It was 10 full-hour episodes. So if you love the book, if you kind of like the movie, I think the series you'll love because the series was really good. Manimal, I don't really remember. I don't think I saw Manimal.
I wasn't until now.
Because I read somewhere statistics. I don't know how many.
Trying to think. I'm always trying to find good new anime. We just watched. Now I'm forgetting. It was a movie we watched about when the kids were in 6th grade. There's one girl that's deaf, and the one boy was bullying her really hardcore. He kept destroying her hearing aids and stuff, and he thought it was super fun. So he was having a fun time with it, but then he gets in trouble, and then all the kids start bullying. She moves away, and all the other kids started bullying him. So then it flash forwards to high school, and in high school, he's had a terrible life now at this point because he was bullied for 5 years. So he feels really bad how he treated the girl. So he goes to look for the girl to make amends, and it just becomes it's a beautiful story about friendship and that kind of stuff. I absolutely love that movie. That movie made me cry a bit. Small Wonder, I love Small Wonder. Trying to remember the anime. It was so good though. For me, when it comes to anime, I love a really good cinematographic movie. I want anime movies, not really series, because series are usually too small for me. I love Your Name. Your Name was an amazing anime. If you guys haven't seen Your Name and you don't really like anime or you haven't watched any, watch Your Name. Your Name is a beautiful, beautiful storyline. I love a good movie like that where you really feel for the characters. If you want a more kind of sci-fi-y anime, Summer Wars was beautiful. Summer Wars is about a future where everyone kind of lives in a virtual world, and all business and stuff is done through this virtual world. And so it becomes a story of friends outside the virtual world who go into the virtual world, and then they have to help save society because someone starts hacking it, and it's just a really fun, awesome storyline, and it is gorgeous. Obviously, I love all the Studio Ghibli movies. The Studio Ghibli movies are absolutely amazing. Totoro, if you haven't seen Totoro, just do yourself a favor and watch it already. Totoro is my desert island, number one. A Silent Voice, that is it. A Silent Voice. Silent Voice was a gorgeous movie. I absolutely loved that one. Because it also just looked beautiful. Looked beautiful, but the storyline was very sweet. And it wasn't a love story. It was a story of friendship. And I really liked that. I thought that was friendship and forgiveness and finding oneself. Silent Voice was fantastic. Trying to think of what other anime movies I watched recently I absolutely loved. I watched the Belle movie that's basically Beauty and the Beast anime style in a virtual world, and that was a gorgeous movie. Storyline was a little bit weak, but it looked beautiful. Your Eternity. Okay, I haven't seen that one yet. I'm going to have to watch that. That's going to be next. I love finding a director that I enjoy anime-wise, and then I just start watching all their movies. The guy who did Summer Wars, Wolf Children, A Boy and His Beast, something like that. All those movies, The Girl Who Left Through Time, all those movies are beautiful and amazing. And then the person who did Your Name did Weathering with You. Oh my gosh, Weathering with You was another absolutely amazing anime movie. It was gorgeous. I loved the storyline. I remember the cool kid, when we watched it together, he loved it so much he watched it 5 more times that week. A Quiet Place is an awesome horror survival movie. Absolutely love A Quiet Place. And the second one's good too. Both of them are really good. I like a good, I mean, for me, survival tales is where I want. Transcendence. It sounds familiar. What was it about? Because I feel like Transcendence is a movie, I think we might have seen it. Because I recognize the name, but I don't remember it at all. If not, I'll have to check it out. In fact, can you write Transcendence in the video's description? So actually, any of you guys mention anything that you thought was cool that I said I didn't see? Write it in the comments, like, of the video when it's over, so I can go back and make a list of what I gotta watch. Then I'll give you guys reviews of all that stuff. Yeah, honestly, if a movie makes me cry, it feels like a good movie to me. Because it means I've connected with the characters in such a way that I had an emotional reaction. If I watch a movie and I don't really care what happened, like, oh cool, he blew up, who cares? Then it's not a good movie. And then there was not The Quiet Place, but the Sandra Bullock one, which was similar, another survival tale, the Birdcage, I think. Oh, Johnny Depp, yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw that one. Oh yeah, that's the one where Johnny Depp's the scientist and he creates the AI and then he gets killed, but his AI is alive within the computer system. And he's trying to make the world better, so he starts doing this thing, but he gets to the point where he programs humans and like takes over them and stuff. And then he makes as much money as he wants. Just that movie was fun. Yeah, Transcendence. Yeah, that's it. I remember that movie. That movie was great. Oh, The Case of Benjamin. Was it? No, it's Benjamin Button. Am I saying it wrong? It's The Case of Benjamin Button, or I feel like it's Benjamin Button. I'm gonna go by the water. I don't know if this is going to disconnect. We might disconnect here. Benjamin Button. Who's the director of Benjamin Button? Because I feel like that's one of those directors I absolutely love. Oh, we're disconnecting. All right, we're in and out, but I think we're okay. We're still connected. Yeah, Benjamin Button was a fantastic sci-fi movie. I actually really liked that one. That was a brilliantly beautiful movie. But I'm trying to remember, it's not a Coen Brothers movie, is it? I want to say, okay. Not Statue of Liberty. The Empire State Building is just clear tonight. No special colors. Yeah, exactly. When they start using technology to heal people and stuff in Transcendence. Like Transcendence was a fantastic, beautiful movie. But like a really fun AI type movie where it's a little bit scary, but it's also awesome at the same time. David Fincher, that's it. It's a David Fincher movie. Love David Fincher movies. Fight Club, fantastic movie. I know there's like 5 or 6 David Fincher movies I absolutely love, but I'm drawing a blank on all of them now. David Fincher movies. Because if David Fincher he gets the best cinematography. So his movies just look gorgeous. Like his movies are the kind of movies I like watching. They're usually fun storytelling. They're edited well. But for cinematography wise, they just look beautiful. And I love a beautiful movie. Sometimes I can forgive sort of bad storytelling if the movie just looks absolutely gorgeous. Like I like the director, Tom Tevik? I forget. Oh, Gone Girl was good. Tom Tickford. He did Run Lola Run. He did this other one that just has the most beautiful cinematography with the same actress, Famke something or something like that, Portante, something like that. Absolutely love those movies, but his cinematography is gorgeous. Oh yeah, Seven, of course. Seven is one of the all-time classics. Quoted more than any time, like on my channel, anytime I unbox something, what's in the box? Are you kidding me? Seven is the #1 quoted movie on YouTube with every unboxing channel. And then I didn't like his Aliens movie. Yeah, Gone Girl was really good actually. I don't remember much of it. I remember watching it and loving it, but I'm drawing a blank. what happened in Gone Girl? Give me a slight synopsis. Because I know I've seen it, and when I think about it, I'm like, yeah, I like that movie, but I'm not remembering it at all now. So, oh, the one with, was that with Jake Gyllenhaal? Zodiac was really good too. That one was very emotional to me. Yeah, David Fincher, in general, almost all his movies are fantastic. Yeah, but he does thrillers that are not thriller in gruesome sakes, but thriller as in it gives you really good anxiety. And I think a good thriller should thrill you and not terrify you. Yeah, Zodiac was really good. Like when how the father reacts to the missing kid. Like I wanted to beat the crap out of people too, honestly. Yeah, you gotta remind me what happened in Gone Girl, because I'm drawing a complete blank. I remember really loving it, but now I can't picture. See, I'm terrible. The way my brain works, I'm terrible with words connecting the things, but when I see images, it pops up real easy. So right now, I'm having a hard time remembering it. So like when you said Transcendence, I had no idea what the movie was. Once you said it was Johnny Depp, then I saw the picture of Johnny Depp, and then it immediately clicked. He might have done that one. Yeah, he might have did the girl with the dragonette too, which was good. I liked the first one. I didn't watch the sequel though, but the first one was really good. Ben Affleck is in it. Everyone thinks he murdered his wife. Okay, yeah, that sounds very, very familiar. I'm trying to remember it again. And then, trying to think of what else I watched recently that I absolutely loved. We're working through Sweet Tooth Season 2 right now, which is a little bit clunky for me. It's not really connecting the way the first season hit me. Let's see, we finished Mando. Absolutely loved Mando. And then, before that, what did we watch? I haven't been actually watching it as much because I've been doing these live streams each night. Live streams, art cards, doing content. I'm making my own stories. Oh, I'm an hour and 50 minutes. Okay, I'm way past. So I think we got about 10 more minutes, then I think my walk is done for the night. It's been really fun, though. Thank you so much for just chatting with me and making me think of a lot of things to talk about. It makes the walks way more fun when I'm actually chatting about stuff. When I'm just walking without... Oh, disconnect. Oh, all right, we're reconnected. I don't remember. I remember Jake Gyllenhaal was the detective guy. Yeah, I want to get up. Tonight we didn't break records or anything, but it was a good solid 20, 25 people for the second half of the night. It was great. It started out so slow, though. I almost ended at 10 minutes because I didn't know what to talk about. And when I'm not talking, I just get in my own head. I don't want to get in my own head. I don't want to think about the bad things. I want to have fun. They already miss me because we haven't been watching as many movies together, because usually we have a movie night. Like every night after work, we watch something from like 8 to 10 usually. Panorama was pretty good. I like Panorama, but that's one of his earlier movies, and that was really before it felt like... I mean, it was after 7, but I felt like it wasn't one of his strongest ones. Yeah, it's been a really good night tonight. Oh, 12 Monkeys. 12 Monkeys is another beautiful, amazing time travel movie. Did Fincher do 12 Monkeys? Yeah, no, I need to get to the 4,000. We're at 700 hours right now, and we're gaining about 60 a night. So it's moving along. We're going to get I think it's going to be harder for me to hit 1,000 subscribers than the hours. Because if I do the 2-hour streams, then they just... it's a long stream. So if for each person that watches for an hour, that's an hour towards the watch hour. So if I have 20 of you guys, that's 20 watch hours. So if we do 2 hours, that's 40 watch hours. So I just have to do 100 of these. Oh, Terry Gilliam, that's right. I thought it was another director. Terry Gilliam's another fun director. I enjoy his movies a lot. His movies are always kind of over the top and crazy, but I enjoy them because they're fun. They're a little bit different. It is surprising that a lot of people are still out this late at night on a Sunday. But that's what this neighborhood is. People just come here to hang out and have a fun time. All right. And my toe doesn't really hurt. So I think having the better socks on is keeping it from getting... oh yeah, Time Bandits is fun too. Time Bandits is a little bit hard to watch. Because it drags on a little bit for me. It's not edited as well as I would like. So the pacing's a little bit off. But it's so weird and awesome. I still kind of really love it. And then I think he did Brazil too. Didn't he do Brazil? That's another one of those crazy over the top ones. So yeah, I'm going to go for 8 more minutes. I'm going to hit 2 hours total for the night. I think 2 hours was a good place to stop. Because if I'm doing 2 hours, I'm probably doing 12,000 steps a day. And that's just building up the stamina a little bit. So we're gonna walk down Bedford, I guess. Super busy over here. Oh, Fisher King's another fantastic movie. No, I haven't seen that one in a long time, so I don't have an updated opinion. I saw it probably about 20 years ago, but I remember absolutely loving it when I watched it. It felt like such a fun, interesting storyline. Sort of loosely based on reality, which makes it even more interesting. I like stuff like that. I'm trying to think if there's any other oddball, like international sci-fi movie I enjoyed. Because, I mean, most people see the main things. Lock and Key was a fun show. Oh, you're very welcome. I enjoy when you guys spend time with me. It's a mutual appreciation. Oh, did you? Yeah, it happens. They're out. It's crazy how bad New York City's become. It's like a real problem right now. They'll do like news reports about it. I'm not sure how they're going to control it. They made it so that garbage can't go out till 8 p.m., but it's out here for 3 or 4 hours a night. That's enough for them to get a meal. Oh, Chud. So I haven't seen Chud since the 80s, but I remember renting Chud for I had a sleepover at my friend's house, and we got Chud. Chud was a fun movie. I just remember really enjoying that one. Just having sewer monsters. That was cool. Street Pirate. Yo, you know what movie I liked in the 80s too? One I remember, I haven't seen it since the 80s, so I need to rewatch it. It was Ice Pirates. I remember absolutely loving Ice Pirates. I don't know if I would like it anymore now as an adult, because it's been, I don't know, 20, 30 years since I watched it. But that's one I was trying to get on DVD, and it didn't come out. And then on Blu-ray, I haven't seen it. I kind of need to just order it one day and watch it, because that's another childhood favorite that I've been meaning to rewatch. Because that's the thing. Sometimes there's stuff that you liked as a kid, you rewatch it, you realize it's kind of garbage. Like that happened to me with The Burbs. I remember really liking The Burbs, and then not like it. The Stuff, that was the, I'm thinking of The Right Stuff. I'm not sure if I saw The Stuff. I'm assuming that was some kind of horror movie. Some kind of ooze. That, I'm not sure. I don't think I saw that one. But yeah, Ice Pirates, that's on my list. Definitely need to find a copy of that to watch. Or see it on TV. Maybe it's on one of the service. Oh, The Last Starfighter. That's my one of my wife's childhood favorites. She talks about that movie all the time. We need to watch it. She's mentioned watching it for the last 4 years. But I haven't seen it on any of the streaming services. I just have to buy it. I think I might actually have a Blu-ray, but I haven't been able to find it. But yeah, The Last Starfighter. Another classic 80s movie. I love the idea of it. Just, kids around the world playing video games. And then the one kid is like the expert, but was actually training to, fight space battles and stuff. That's awesome. Killer Yogurt from... Okay. I have to watch that. That's like Killer Clowns from Outer Space is another schlocky, amazing like thriller horror type movie. I love that one. I like those kind of schlocky movies. As a kid, I loved Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, like any of those weird space monster, like killer thriller type movies are always fun to me. Oh, I'll readjust. All right, I will definitely add that any like that movie, add it to the video's comments when we're over. I want to watch all these schlocky movies and stuff. Oh, Dark Crystal's another classic. Do love the Dark Crystal. I tried watching the Netflix series and I got through it a little bit. I was enjoying it, but I wasn't falling in love with the character. The Blob, I love the original Blob and the remake in the 80s. The Blob's a classic. That's actually one of my wife's childhood favorites too. And she keeps talking about watching the Blob again. I need to get the Blob and get The Last Starfighter. 2 movies we need to watch. I haven't seen Attack the Killer Hairspray. That one sounds fun. I'll have to add that to my list too. I like silly movies like that. Oh, that's right. We were watching the was it Love, Death, and Robots? The Netflix shorts. Those are actually a lot of fun. Like some of them are kind of bad, but for the most part, those are actually really fun. Love, Death, and Robots. I really like those storylines actually. Man, I got such a sunburn on Saturday. My head is like peeling. I'm so pasty white. When I go out in the sun for a day, I get burnt so easily. All right. Heart beeps. No, I don't know if I saw heart beeps. You guys are picking out some really obscure indie movies. If it's good though, put it in the comments when the video's over. I want to watch all this stuff, give you guys reviews. Like every once in a while I learn about some amazing movie I never saw, and like it blows my mind because I've been such a movie nut for so long. My wife and I, at our peak, we had 6,000 DVDs. We used to collect everything sci-fi and interesting. Oh, that's funny. That sounds very interesting. I like the the Peter Jackson horror stuff. You have it was just making me, there's that scene where they eat all the human gruel stuff. What was that movie called now? Oh, I'm trying to remember. I'm drawing a blank. He also did the one zombie comedy, which is really good. I think Bad Taste and what was the other Peter Jackson movie? I'm drawing a blank now. Sounds like a lot of fun we're all gonna have watching all these goofy things. Now I'm what is, I always come. All right, so we have the Evil Dead, so it's like the Evil Dead. Dead Alive, is that it? Dead Alive, yes. Dead Alive is a fantastic schlocky comedic zombie movie. Absolutely love that one. Peter Jackson at his finest before Lord of the Rings. All right. Whew, we're at 2 hours. Okay, sweet. Okay, I think I'm gonna call it quits because I'm tired, and I've had a fun evening. Thank you for hanging out. Yeah, Dead Alive, that's it. All right, so, oh, you can't see me. It's too dark. You can't see me. All right, well, just want to let you know I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for hanging out, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Oh, Heavenly Creatures, also an amazing movie. Loved Heavenly Creatures.